Nobody here. I just turned off your main office
Oh, no, I need to.
because everybody's hitting mics.
What do you mean?
Somebody hit it and just.
Oh,
You can hear it.
that's fine. I gotta be able to hear and make sure it's coming through
Okay.
for the meeting. So I need a little bit of the background noise.
Welcome, everyone. Call the meeting to order. You're able to join me in pledge of allegiance. Thank you. All right. Make sure this is working. Good. All right, first item. There we go. Executive minutes from May 12th and also executive minutes from May 28th.
It's okay. We're in the open session.
There we go. This will make a lot more sense to everyone. There we go. All right. Yeah, just the executive session acknowledgement where we deal with delinquencies, liens, foreclosures, which were none of, personnel, legal issues, and then we had a new contract with Pacific Pools to have the pool service 3 times a week at a cost of $25.08 a month, and also to service the 30-50, which includes monthly service with a back end. Let's make a motion. Contract. I'll second. Any other discussion? Hello?
Yep. So just for background, this consolidation between 2 vendors back into 1 vendor makes a lot of sense simply because we've got a vendor now that has the expertise to manage both ponds, pools, spas, and fountains for close to the same costs that we had. They also are going to take over the responsibility for our chemical delivery system, which is largely proprietary, and pool vendors have a difficult time making it. So this will allow us to convert over and get more flexibility in the vendors that we choose downstream. But for now, this one came highly recommended, very well priced, additional capabilities for servicing our ponds and pools. So I think it's a real plus.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next contract was a contract from Graco Electric to fix all of our street lights. The quote was for $13,610. I'll make a motion that we approve this. All right, any other discussion?
So regarding that, I just want to thank the safety committee for their persistence in getting this done. This has been something they've been working on for about a year. And the folks that live in the Torno, Ascona, Gordola area you're finally going to get your lights on. So I want to thank the board for taking on this issue. That area over there is still under the control of KHOV. but we're going to see to it that they pay their share of, to fix the lighting, but we are going to get it done because we deemed it to be a safety hazard, security and safety hazard. So thank you for getting that done.
Any other comment? All in favor? Aye. All right, next up, Cookie, homeowner forum.
Okay, at this time, I want to ask, do we, homeowner forms, speaker forms? Okay, so I have one solo, Ms. Haygood.
Thank you. Hello. I'm actually reading a letter from Julie Ingert, an open letter to the board. She's not able to be here today. She had a medical appointment. The letter reads, one of the main reasons I, meaning Julie, purchased a home in Four Seasons Terra-Lago in 2018 was the amenities offered by this 55-plus active adult community, not the least of which includes the indoor and outdoor pools and spas. All three recreational and therapeutic water features include a lift for those who are unable to enter the water using the steps. Although infrequently used, they are essential to provide all residents and guests access. It was found recently that the lifts required batteries in order to operate, and new batteries were installed. However, it was then discovered that the lifts require a braking mechanism to prevent them from swinging dangerously when use is attempted. The workaround is to require assistance from somebody to stabilize the lift when a person gets in or out of the water. This is clearly a safety issue. We were recently informed research was being done to obtain the part necessary. The research must be fast-tracked due to safety issues involved. I'm unable to attend this meeting, and my friend Linda Haygood has graciously offered to speak on my behalf. I intend to be once again a regular user of the pools by mid-June. I will need a lift, and in the absence of adequate braking mechanism, I will request assistance from the residential staff to get safely into the pool. Therefore, please let the staff know that I will need their assistance and will contact them when I'm planning to use the pool until the lifts are functioning properly. Thank you.
That will be all, Mike.
All right, thank you. Oh, here we go. All right, next item is the consent calendar, which includes the draft open session minutes from 4/29. Also includes 3 club requests, one for the FSTL Blue Club, one for the Barracudas rehearsal schedule, and one for the self-defense class. The other thing is the rental requests, which we had none of for the room, no 4515 civil code requests. Sorry. We also had P-card statements. And then the last thing was vendor insurance for the amount of $850. I make a motion that we approve this with the exception of the self-defense class. I want to pull that till we get some more information. Is there a second? Any other discussion on that?
Yeah, I've reviewed the P card and the reconciliation statements associated with those, and everything looks in order.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, next up is the management's report.
This one is really loud.
I heard. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Okay, so we have tile cleaning of the lodge that's scheduled to begin on June 5th and will continue through June 6th. During this time, the lodge will remain open, so just know that. And then any additional updates will be, of course, announced through our e-blast. The indoor pool will be closed for repairs on the ceiling and walls. That's starting June 1st through June 9th. The palm tree trimming is complete and it looks amazing. The crew is currently working on removing the stains from the dates. I'm sure you've seen them on the concrete, so just know that that's being worked on. The summer flowers are planted. And I just want to say that we have seen a noticeable improvement in the overall community compliance efforts over the past several weeks, maybe the last 6 weeks or so. So we really appreciate the cooperation from the community. This helps to preserve the property values, enhances the beauty. So please keep if you see something, your neighbors, or you're just driving or taking a nice walk and you see something, just reach out to us because we will definitely address it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. All right, next item up is committee reports. Eva?
Okay. For committee reports, you can clearly see the list of all the hard work our committees are doing, so there's no need for me to go and read everything to you. As far as the bistro committee goes, I just want to say I want to thank the committee so much for trying so hard to get us a vendor for that bistro. We thought we had a vendor, which was a Unique Bites Eatery. We just found out this morning that they have pulled out and they are not interested anymore. So our committee, unfortunately, is going to have to go back to work and try to find a new vendor. But I just want to thank the committee because they've done so much work on our behalf to try to get a vendor in here. So thank you to the bistro committee. As far as the event planning committee, you can see they're very busy. They've been doing quite a bit of work. One of the big things is having a food handler training. We've been wanting to have a food handler training for quite some time, and it's just basically a refresher course. We're going to be reviewing the food handler list. We know that there's some people that felt that they needed to get a food handler certificate in order to go in and get ice, and that is not the case because a staff can go in and get ice for you. So we're going to be reviewing the list. So if you are currently a food handler, you will be contacted regarding some training that's going to be coming up. We'll leave that second part for later. As far as the finance committee, at our last or two executive sessions ago, we had Frank Cortese, who created a fantastic asset management system, which is really going to help us keeping track of every asset that we have. So he shared that with us, and we're going to be using that moving forward. As far as the interior exterior design committee, again, I mean, all our committees are so great and they do so much work, and interior exterior committee is no exception. They've done quite a bit. I actually personally love the chairs that we have in the front entry. That's such a simple design and simple addition, but I love it. I think it's nice to have. As you can see, they're evaluating bocce court sitting and shading options. They met with the bistro committee to discuss redesign of the bistro and lounge. We're going to be addressing something regarding umbrellas and pool stands, which is going to be very exciting. So interior exterior committee is working really hard as well. Landscape committee, they approved phase 1 of the Terra-Lago Parkway landscaping that was sent to the board. They submitted the multi-phase plan for the pressure regulators at Four Seasons Terra-Lago, so they continue their hard work. Safety committee, thanks to our liaison as well, and our prior chair of the safety committee, Jerry Barrett, has been elected as the new chair of the safety committee. They are continuing to discussing quotes regarding the street lighting, recommendations regarding the entrance exit double yellow lines, and they're looking into options for motorized doors and the selected door options that they're presenting to the board as well. There was no meetings in April for the governing documents committee, the newsletter committee, and the website committee. but those, they do have meetings scheduled, or they did have meetings scheduled for May. Sorry, I do have an announcement. Going back to the event planning committee, we want to welcome Diana Calvaneso, who is the new event planning committee member. So welcome, Diana.
And I'd like to say thank you to all those that did apply. We appreciate your stepping forward. All right, next up is new business. First item is financials. Dave?
Thank you, sir. This open session, we have two financial reports that were finalized, reviewed by the Finance Committee and myself, and I'm presenting those jointly today. Following this, we'll have everything back in sync, and I'll reflect on the most current month, the financials, as compared to the prior month that we had already discussed. For this financial report, you can see the March and April total assets went down slightly in April. Primarily, the operating cash had gone down slightly. We've made a number of awards for purchases and a number of other things, so that were not out of reserve. So we did have a decline in the available operating cash as a result of those purchases. Total liabilities, again, it tracks with the total assets, so we did go down slightly. The total liabilities, you can see, went down slightly from 63 to 61 for this month. For income and expense summary, you can see the March income was 218,000 plus 530. April was 221,000. The general factor behind that April income change is we haven't had our interest posted as we've been consolidating accounts from Merrill Lynch, ABB, into Morgan Stanley, US Bank, and Webster Bank. Our interest postings are lagging, so we'll see this catch up slightly in the May timeframe. April expenses went up. Again, we've approved a number of things. We're now at the point with our financials that we've completed the posting of the 2025 invoices that had come in late and that might have gotten booked either January, February, or March as they were processed. We've adjusted for a number of things. So, and one of the big ones is as we move from full accrual to modified accrual, we're no longer posting projected expenses, we're posting actual expenses as they're received. And so we see some significant variations in our January, February, and March expenses that were paid. But I believe now we're at the point where First Service has now caught up with all the invoices. We should see more of a normalized pattern going forward month to month without such a spike up or down in the expenses that were incurred and paid for that particular month. So over the period in March, we had approximate loss of 29,000 as compared to our income over our expenses, and in April it was $44,078. The expense variations for April are listed here, and you can see that our utilities were a little bit lower than budgeted, and this was one of the items that we had identified that were being auto-paid and auto-overpaid in some cases where there was a credit from a prior month that wasn't considered. And so we had quite a balance that was rolling. So I think we're now normalizing that. Our utilities and the auto-pay process are caught up, I believe, and they will be for May for sure. Land maintenance, because of some landscape repairs or landscape upgrades and repairs that we had to do, and some street repairs that had to be done on sidewalks, I believe we had 23% higher than budgeted expenses. Pool and spa, 95% higher than budgeted. And this isn't a large amount in this category, but it was for fountain repairs that we had, for cleaning that was done of the fountains to get them back now in order. And I hope the community now sees that all the fountains are working. They're certainly going to be in much better shape as we convert over to the new contractor. And I think the lighting and fountain scuppers, waterfalls, and geysers are all working properly, which is wonderful. It's been quite a long time in the making. Event services were about 14% lower than budgeted. Common area expenses were slightly higher, 2%, due to outdoor concrete repair by the outdoor pool, due to a leak that was occurring from the inside of the pool room. And then finally, administration was 54% higher than budgeted, primarily due to a tax payment and staff costs that were incurred for this period. In terms of year-to-date actuals, our actual year-to-date income is just slightly lower than projected. And again, that's for the booking of the interest that we haven't seen yet as they've reconciling these merging of the accounts. Our year-to-date operational expenses are 3% higher than what was budgeted, and our reserve contributions are 12% lower than was budgeted, and that is specifically related to the interest not posting to the reserve account. So all in all, I think the financials are beginning to normalize. I think we're in a good position. We're looking at some cost savings opportunities ahead of us, so I think we'll do real well for the balance of the year. In terms of my recommendations, so we have 3 funds: the operating cash fund, the reserve cash fund, and then the reserve treasury fund. For the operating cash, we have a $50,000 CD that is maturing around the 7th of June, I think it is. And so I'd like to move that we allow First Service Residential Investments to roll that into a new CD for a 6-month period at the prevailing rates that they can get through Morgan Stanley.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
For the reserve cash, we have about 345,000 that's sitting there earning about 0.5% annual percent per year. I want to move that into better liquid interest-bearing investment, and I'm working with First Service Residential, so I think May will be able to announce how that's going. We do need an amount of liquid funds in that reserve cash because we've got a number of expenses that are going to be posted to the reserve account that we'll talk about here, and we've already talked about the curtains that were placed here. That was a reserve item, and a number of other things that you'll see much smaller in value. So we need to keep a portion of that liquid, but we can still lock it up into a better money market rate than 0.5%. And then finally, there's no recommendations for the reserve treasury fund. So at the conclusion here, I move that we accept the March 26 and April 26 financials pending CPA review.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up, we have a number of contracts or quotes to approve. First one is for irrigation repair from Southwest Landscape. This is to repair 3 malfunctioning decoders that control our irrigation system in the amount of $3,000, $3,029.90. Do I have a second? Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Next one is for Terralago Parkway plantings. Part of the Landscape Committee's recommendation from Southwest Landscape is to remove some of the old plant material, replaced with new. The cost would have been $16,885, but there's a credit that was built into the contract for some service and some plants. So it reduced the cost to $54.85. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve that at $54.85. Is there a second? Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next one is for the lodge fountain pots. These are the ones right outside the lodge here. What was found is that the irrigation system for these was tied into the regular irrigation, and pot irrigation is completely different. So what's happening is every time we put a plant in there, they die. So the plan is to separate those onto its different valves so they can actually be properly watered and maintained. So I'll make a motion that we approve this quote for $25.35.94 to make that repair. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next one is part of the Landscape Committee's pressure reducing valve program to mitigate a lot of the leaks we get because of the high pressure coming to our system. So this one, Oh, this is just, yeah. Yeah, this is just to approve the plan, and it's kind of a 12-month, I think it's 18-month plan that once a month is going to be repaired. Now, these pressure reducing valves, sometimes they control a number of valves, anywhere from, I think, 20-something or 30-something down to 14 and 6. So they've highlighted which ones they prioritize. So once a month, we're going to do this. Now, part of this is there is a rebate. Landscape committee is going to assist with getting all that paperwork done and everything for that. So I make a motion that we approve this plan. Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next one is for pool area umbrellas and stands. This is a recommendation from the Interior Exterior Design Committee. One thing we have found is that we're purchasing new umbrellas every year, mainly due to the quality of them. So these are much more industrial, come with a much better warranty and guarantee, better materials and all that. So the cost of this, and this is a reserve item, is $23,036.97. And I make a motion that we approve this from California Plus for that amount. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion?
Yes. So I just want to once again, thanks the IEDC for all their work on the recommendation. I personally, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree, love the idea of having nice umbrellas out there and have it look more like a resort. I think that's a great idea. I must admit that I was a little concerned about damage to the patio for the cantilever umbrella installation. But what I want to ask is all the homeowners, everyone here, we need your assistance, because when you're out there enjoying the pool and we get our crazy winds, staff is going to be helping by making sure the umbrellas are closed, but I want to also ask all the homeowners to do your part to make sure umbrellas are closed, so we just eliminate any more damage or problems that we have with our umbrellas. These are better quality umbrellas. They're commercial grade umbrellas. So we expect them to last a lot longer, but we always could use the help of homeowners as well as staff to make sure they're closed when it's windy.
Thank you.
Also, staff is going to come around before they leave and lower the umbrellas. However, if you're using an umbrella, they're not going to lower them while you're using it. But again, that's where it becomes important that when you're done with it, that you lower the umbrella. I say lower, I mean, bring it down so that if the winds do pick up, that they don't become a flying object and take somebody out. So just a little bit of responsibility from the residents as well. If it looks like it's getting windy and those things are going to take off, please lower them so that nobody gets hurt and there's no damage to the umbrellas and to somebody sunbathing. So thank you.
I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention that I think is exciting news is that we're actually now, with the addition of these umbrellas, are going to have some shade in certain areas of the pool. And I think that's fantastic.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, next item is the refurbishment of the outside tables and chairs. This is a number of items, I believe it's about 20 items that were missed when the Patio Guys Company refurbished our other outdoor pool equipment. So this is kind of a change order. So I'll make a motion that we approve this from Patio Guys for the amount of $4,059.27. Is there a second? Any other discussion on this?
So I just want to confirm this was not part of the original contract.
It was to be part of the original contract, but they missed the number. So their original quote was for, I don't even remember, 90 something pieces, 20 were missed. So it was already approved. This is just kind of a change to get the final components refurbished.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so the next one is to purchase an upgraded version of front steps, which is what is utilized by the website committee for our website. It's a one-time $250 cost for an upgrade. it doesn't change the monthly charge for that system. So I'll make a motion that we approve this for $250. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a comment. I understand that there were limitations by remaining on the unsupported platform. So therefore, I fully support the upgrade, but I also want to ensure that management works with the website committee throughout the upgrade process, because it's my understanding that this may be an opportunity to make some formatting changes that the website committee wanted to make and were unable to make. So I just want to make sure that that happens.
And what is Front Steps? Can you? I mean,
It's the web content development environment that is used to build out the website and also host our website
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, basically the software that drives the website for development and operation.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All right. Next item up is kind of announcement for the 4th of July event from the event planning committee. Initially, this was to be a charged event. The board discussed this, and we felt with this being such an important milestone for the country, we decided that we want to make this a free event. So what we'll be doing is getting information out in an e-blast with the process. There'll still be kind of a sign up because, basically we'll be able to support so many people for food and those kind of things. So we'll get some information out as far as in an e-blast, how that's going to work with sign up. So I'll make a motion that we approve this event and that it will be free. Discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment that this particular event committee does have budget that we had funded and allocated last year as part of the overall activities budget. They did expect to have ticket sales that would offset the cost of roughly $3,000, but because we're making it free, this will just decrement that budget, and they'll have to manage their remaining budget and events to ensure that we have revenue to offset what we can. But I'm excited that we're going to offer this to the community as a free event for 4th of July.
Right. And the plan has always been to at least attempt, if not, fulfill one free event per year. And again, we felt this was such a momentous event that this would be a great one to get as many community members involved and attending.
And piggybacking on what Mike said, when we approved having our merchandise store, all the proceeds from the merchandise store, we said would be going toward a free event. So I'm really excited, and I want to encourage everyone to continue. The merchandise store does have can now do club-specific shirts and things. So please make sure you look at that. And the more we continue to purchase items, we can continue to have events like this. So I do think it's a fantastic thing that we can offer this event for free. It's going to be a big day. And I also want to make the announcement that for those that did purchase tickets, when you get the e-blast, it will have directions on how to go about getting your refund.
Correct. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. Next one is for some community signage in the amount of $2,084.72. And this is a lot of our pool signage has faded. So it's for indoor and outdoor pool. It's also for some signage on the storage room doors here and also on the attendant shack up front. So I'll make the motion that we approve this, and I'm trying to see the vendor. Tomika, okay, for the amount of $2,084.72. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this does include, for the indoor pool, it does include changing the verbiage to say that the pool is open 24 hours, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
For the indoor.
Got it.
Yes, that is correct.
And I have pictures of the signs.
Great.
If you want to read.
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye. All right, next item, number 9, unfinished business. So the Triola Burano Basin. Right now, we're obviously this is part of the KHOV dispute that we're having that includes Campana Basin and this. We do have a meeting with the attorney this week, or, yeah, Thursday this week. Yeah, tomorrow. So this is an item we're going to bring up. One thing we'd like to do, if possible, is try to repair, at least from a safety aspect, as much as we can. But there are concerns that we do anything, it could weaken our case or something like that. So we want to discuss this with the attorney, but we are tracking this and trying to formalize a great plan for this. Next thing is rules and regulations update. I've been working on these. I'm about 90% done, so I'm hoping to get these completed with my recommendations and then disseminate it to staff and the board for their input. And then obviously once we look at these, decide what we want to do, those will go out for 28-day homeowner comment. So it's a little bit of a process. That's the same thing with bylaw amendments. Those are still under review. And then again, on the KHOV dispute, our legal representatives met with KHOV's legal representatives. Opposing counsel also submitted an offer to repair. So this is part of the discussion we're going to have tomorrow with our legal representative, is that offer to repair, which I'll tell you is not anything I think we'll entertain at this point. It doesn't really cover anything. Yeah, it doesn't really cover anything that we feel needs to be covered. So that'll be an ongoing issue. Next thing is Frank Cortese, part of the Finance Committee, has developed an asset management tool. This tool basically allows us to input all of our assets, pool pumps, heaters, air conditioning systems, everything that basically sits on your reserves. With this, it gives us the ability to track them, put cost against them, future costs against them, track maintenance, track warranty. So it's a very good tool. Now, he's created this specifically for us, doesn't cost the HOA anything, but it gives us a lot of data, a lot of information. So I'm going to make a motion that we adopt this system. And do I have a second? Any other discussion?
Yeah, just to clarify, it's free. He's doing this on his own, and there's no cost incurred.
Yeah, and this becomes an HOA asset. So I've used these things in my career as a maintenance supervisor, and typically it's a monthly charge. This is designed specifically for our needs, so it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that we don't need. So it's a very useful tool. So we're very excited about getting this going.
They did also look at a separate for-fee asset management tool, compared it to what could be developed by Frank and others, and concluded that this system for free has very extensive features, ability to accommodate thousands of assets, which we don't have. But it's just overall, it'll be managed by the Finance Committee, and it'll be a tremendous tool for us to use to get better insight into repairs, repair history, where the maintenance and warranty stands, something that we haven't had located in a single place forever. So this is really a plus, and to be able to ingest all the reserve data in so you can see the financials and when things are due for replacement is just tremendous. So thank Frank and the others for developing this.
And also, just to be clear, this asset management system, Frank is doing this work as being part of the Finance Committee. So this is being done through the Finance Committee. So it's wonderful to have.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next item, correspondence. Eva.
Okay, so we just want to take a minute to remind everyone, if you have any concerns, landscape concerns, facility issues, every Friday on the eBlast, there are links, issues links that you can click on. It automatically pops up an email to the staff. It sends that email directly to staff, and things will get addressed a lot faster than if you come to the board, you can obviously do that, but it does take a little while for us to then make sure that that management gets it. So this way it's directly to management. So we highly encourage you, any issues that you have, to use that, those links, I should say. Also, we've decided to change the way that we report on all communications that the board has received, either by email, during the What's on Your Mind sessions, or on the open forums. And rather than just share the list of all the items that were discussed, we are now categorizing them so that we can provide you some feedback or on the status of each. So, we are listening to your concerns, and whenever possible, we try to address as soon as we can. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes longer than other times, but we do appreciate your patience, and we hope that this new format helps. So we have currently under board review and consideration is the multiple requests for the automated door openers. I believe that we're getting quotes for that. Homeowner asked about stone monuments and green spaces. We need more information on that, so we're going to be doing that. Multiple concerns expressed about the pool temperatures. I know that we have addressed or tried to address the concerns with the pool. We have asked management to do a study where they check the pool temperature 3 times a day so that we can try to find the set point that works best for our morning users and for our afternoon users. As recent as maybe 3 weeks ago, we had the afternoon temperatures at 95, 96, and it's just not refreshing at all. So we were trying to find a way. We asked for your patience while management works on this for us, and trying to find the set point that works best to make it comfortable for everyone. We know that the temperatures are going to be soon rising, and that's going to help as well. But so we just ask for your patience, but we are looking at that. The items that were referred to management, we delegate all operational matters to management, so they address these matters for us. So issues like regarding tailgaters on Avenue 44, which I know is really difficult. The PA9 gate apparently had a large tree that was scraping large vehicles that were going by, so management is addressing that with our landscaping company. So this, and it also continues on the next page. We have some concerns about the Adria Basin needing landscape attention, so management will work with Southwest to make sure that that's addressed. An item that was referred, and I think Mike mentioned this, referred to our legal, is the homeowner that noted the erosion on their property near the Verano Basin that is related to our negotiations with KHOV, so that was referred. And then items that were resolved are the removal of the second open forum and the way to ensure that Teams attendees open session are verified. And we have done that by now adding our new webinar that you have to register for, so that has now been addressed.
Thank you. Excuse me, if you want to speak, you've got to do it at the open forum, not at this time. So the next thing on the agenda is the next board meeting, which will be June 24th at 11 a.m. With that, we are adjourned.